Welcome to the TTT on the GGG, and today we are bringing back Top Tip Tuesday to the Goddess Got Goals podcast, and we're streaming it live inside our free tribe community. So welcome back to the TTT on the GGG. Yep, it's Tuesday. We're giving you top tips, and we're sticking to what is important for women in midlife. And today we're talking about a practical option of how to increase your protein intake, specifically with protein powders. But I want to double back and come back a little bit about why protein is so important in midlife. So, studies have shown that protein intake of between 1.2 and 2 grams per kilogram of body weight is crucial and critical for women over 40 in order to maintain hormone balance. Now, I'm not a big fan of hormone balance because I don't think there's such a thing. Hormone harmony, because of what goes on in our bodies during midlife. To try to aim for balance is not necessarily the goal, but this is what we need to harmonize the hormones, to work with the hormones for weight management, bone and muscle support, and more importantly, yes, helping to prevent cognitive decline, right? Because this is the scary stat I want you to hear from me today. Women make up 2/3 of Alzheimer's cases, and estrogen decline is a huge factor. Okay, so what does this look like? A woman that's 150 pounds, which is about approximately 68 kg, over 40 should be eating between 82 to 136 grams of protein per day. In our Forge community, the Sexy Strong, the Island, we recommend about 100 grams a day as a good target, and that works for most women. But again, if you are heavier, if you're taller, if you have specific goals around changing your body shape, then you may want to increase that, right? So 100 grams is a good place to start. Because as women age, they do experience that age-related muscle loss I talk about all the time, sarcopenia, and a higher protein intake combined with resistance style strength training can help to counteract what is happening in the body, right? So as estrogen is dropping in perimenopause, it really greatly affects our risk of osteoporosis, which is the thinning of bones, the weakening of bones, and protein is crucial, right? Crucial for bone health and can help maintain that muscle bone density, especially when combined with nutrients like vitamin D and indeed calcium. So proteins, building blocks, amino acids are essential for producing hormones and neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine. So if you are feeling all of the cases of the blah and the apathy during midlife, a lot of it can do with estrogen's decline and also not consuming enough protein and getting essential amino acids. Other cool stuff is that those amino acids are really good for regulating that hormones that we really want to help prevent the mood swings, anxiety, depression, and drastic weight gain. Yes, but also stabilize our blood sugar, minimize those energy crashes, reduce those cravings for sugar, right? That's why you be snacking on an evening. Yeah. And we want to help you to decrease the risk of insulin resistance, which is causing type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, PCOS, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and a lot more. Okay, so high protein intake also helps prevent cognitive decline in perimenopausal women. We want you to have a brain that works, ladies. So combine protein with creatine, and we're helping to boost and support the brain in the best way that we can. Yeah. So let's talk about the best way to supplement protein. Now, you're going to say to me, Lisa, can I not just get it for food? Yes, you can. 100%. Are you gonna? No, seriously, it's a serious question. Are you going to easily consume between 30 and 40 grams of protein in every meal? Because what does that look like? Are you ready? Okay, it's a palm-sized portion of chicken, like a chicken breast, steak, salmon, for example, a moderate can of tuna, 5 eggs, 6 rashers of bacon, or a scoop of protein will get you between 20 to 30-ish grams, depending on the protein powders and the ones that I'm going to talk to you about, right? So it really does help you when you are busy, when you're, balancing a lot of stuff at home, because hello, all of us have different responsibilities and needs at home. And sometimes we just need that extra little bit of boost and extra help. And that's why I've always been a proponent of the protein smoothie as a way to boost that. And in my Wellness Alchemy stories, every single Tuesday, I have been sharing specifically about how I make my smoothies in the morning. Because here is the thing, we're just busy and sometimes we just need help, right? Especially as perimenopausal women that are juggling so much stuff, we just need that, right? So even if you're not strength training, even if you're not kettlebell training, even if right now all you're able to do is maybe a walk here and there, you still need to increase your protein. This is the message I want you to get across today, right? And the TTT. So, what does that look like? What are my two favorite protein powders? I'm going to talk about them. So, I have two that I take and I support. I have been a affiliate and ambassador for the Protein Works now for about 8 years, and it works really well for the price and the cost, and also for boosting your Green Goddess smoothies. And if you're following more of a carb cycling in more of a strict way where you're trying to reduce carbs at the same time. Now, I have veered away from it a little bit in recent years because they went from sweetening it with stevia to using sucralose, which again, the studies are 50-50 on whether sucralose is a bad sweetener in terms of overall health and what it does to other hormones like urine and leptin. But personally, I also just didn't like the taste and where it went with the taste. So I was using unflavored, and then my unflavored, I was just adding and sweetening with things like peanut butter or buying my own stevia drops to sweeten it. Yeah. So that's something that you can still do. It's also really cost effective. And I also have a code that you can get up to 30% off if you go to warriorgoddesskettlebelltraining.com/tools. Inside my tools section, scroll down, you will see everything to do with making smoothies and protein powders in there. And it's definitely a place for you to go and access, and you'll be able to find out about the Protein Works, right? But it is really good because it's lower calorie, low sugar, dairy free, gluten free, and you can get, I think, 25 grams per scoop, per 30-gram scoop, with very little carbs, right? And that's where there's an advantage. Key thing I say in all of my communities is if you're about to invest in a new protein that you've never tried before, just run it by us. Show us the numbers on the back. Show us the breakdown of the macro charts on the back and the calories, and we can give you feedback as to whether it's a good choice for you based on the plan that you're following, and what you know about yourself in terms of flavor or consistency or texture and things like that. Yeah. And then the other one I'm going to talk about, which is the one that I'm currently obsessed with, being neurodivergent. I do get obsessed and hyper focus on certain things, but I've been taking Huel now for about 5 or 6 years, specifically in my morning smoothie, right? Because it is tremendously well balanced, but it's also tremendously high protein for the cost, right? Taste also amazing. So I'm a big fan of the chocolate and the salted caramel. It's sweetened with stevia. It's pea based, so it's not soy based, for their vegan proteins. Really good for us very sensitive stomachs like myself. And it is so good and so tasty, and you can mix it and match it in different ways. They have a subscription payment, so it actually, you don't run out because it gets delivered when you need it. And it's just been really helpful for me as a way to boost my protein tasting really good. And that's the one that I've been sharing a lot in the Wellness Alchemy stories, every single Tuesday on Instagram and Facebook stories. So you can go and see what that looks like. You can also go and check it out in our tools section, warriorgoddesskettlebelltraining.com/tools. And those will give you the example of both of them. So each of them has, benefits and drawbacks. The Huel is a little bit more expensive because it's also has a shipping cost, but it still works out less than, I think I want to say like £1.60 a meal, because it is a fully balanced meal. It has proteins, carbs, and fats in it. But for me, knowing myself, right? And this is where I want you to, in an ideal world and living on the island, right? I want you to start to imagine island life that we're teaching you inside the Sexy Strong the Island and the Forge method on that island, of course, we'll want to get our protein from simple sources that are either from the ground or from the animals that eat from the ground, right? But if you're choosing a plant based lifestyle, if you're having a very busy lifestyle, if you've got a lot of stuff going on and you're just trying to find a quick, easy, and extremely healthy way to increase your protein, there is nothing wrong with every woman that I know consuming protein, right? It's not going to mess up your kidneys. It's not going to do that. Now, if you've already had your doctor or your urologist or somebody talk to you about not having too much protein, then that's completely different. That's a diagnosis. But unless you've got some sort of existing condition that has anything to do with your kidneys, consuming this amount of protein and even up to 40 grams in one sitting will not in any way harm you and what's going on. That said, we also want to make sure you're still drinking enough water, that you've got a good digestive system, that we are looking for this to be a holistic way for you to increase the amount of protein that you get. And this is just your top tip to do exactly that. So, this is it. This is what I wanted to share with you today on Top Tip Tuesday. The TTT is back on the GGG and we'll be back again next week. If you want to find out more about what we're sharing on the island, Sexy Strong the Island, the map will be dropping first and foremost to our waitlist. So you need to come and join the island waitlist if you go to warriorgoddesskettlebelltraining.com/island or I'll drop it in the links below. You can DM me the word island. DM me the word island or map, either will work, to make sure that you are getting into the waitlist for that. And you will be the first to know when the map drops because I'm going to give you a little tip for today. There is a very special invitation for those on the waitlist for them to be the first to come and join us on the island because what I have created here is completely different to anything that I have done before to make this the most no-brainer, easy, make it work for you, a sustainable way for women in midlife specifically to finally have the body shape change, to finally be able to double their strength and their fitness, to just feel good and feel strong in their bodies. And it's where warrior goddesses are forged, right? We're going to teach you how to eat like a woman, train like a warrior, to feel like a goddess, and age like an Amazon on the island. So you can go ahead, check out the link in the show notes or below inside our tribe community, or DM me the word island or map, and I will get that sorted out for you. So that was the TTT on the GGG. I hope you're starting to get some really cool tips and advice that you can take action on. I'm going to be sharing a lot to do with protein this week and share a lot of that because that's the questions that I'm getting in the DMs, which is great. I love hearing from you. And just know that if you also need help in the meantime, we still have a remaining 8 spots left for our $1 wellness assessment. I'll also drop that link below as well. So that's the TTT and the GGG, and we'll be back with our normal Goddess Got Goals episode on Thursdays with our bigger drop on a Thursday. But today is just dropping the little small tips to help you to, follow the Forged method because this message is Forged method approved. All right, I shall see you same time, same place next week. Until then, bye for now.